Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. In this video, we're going to start our discussion about polynomial graphing. Now we're starting that talking about end behavior, but even before we talk about end behavior, we need to talk about the parts of a polynomial equation. Now when we talk about the parts of the equation, we're going to talk about them based on standard form. So first let's talk about what standard form means in terms of a polynomial. So we have f of x equals, and then you see all these terms listed out. For a polynomial equation to be in standard form, it needs to be in decreasing degree order. So what that means is that we want the highest power of x listed first, then the next highest power of x to come next, and then it's going to keep decreasing until we get down to x to the 1 power, and then finally we'll have our term with no x's, or our constant term. So that's what it means for our polynomial equation to be in standard form. From standard form, we can actually tell a lot about what the graph of that polynomial is going to look like. And we can do that by focusing our attention on what we call the lead term. Now, the lead term is that term that has the highest power of x. And it turns out that that highest power of x is called the degree of the polynomial. And it tells us a whole lot about what's going to go on. We'll keep referencing degree through much of our polynomial graphing series. The other thing in our lead term that we want to focus on, or that tells us some information, is the coefficient of the lead term. And we often call that the lead coefficient. Now, whether that lead coefficient is positive or negative is going to tell us a lot about the end behavior of our graph and what we can do with that portion of the graph. So once we can identify the lead term and its lead coefficient and degree, then we can talk about end behavior. So it turns out that for polynomials, there are only 4 types of end behavior. We have the first category being if we have an even degree polynomial. So if that highest power of x is even, then we are going to have up to the left and up to the right, or down to the left and down to the right. So something that can help us remember that is if we have even degree, we're going to have exactly the same end behavior on both sides. So either up, up, or down, down. If we have odd degree, so if that highest power of x is an odd number, then odd degree polynomials have opposite end behavior. So they have either down to the left and up to the right, or up to the left and down to the right. So they are opposite on either end. Now, how to tell which it is has to do with that lead coefficient. So if we have a positive leading coefficient, then we're going to have up, up for an even degree and down, up for an odd degree. So the way that I remember which is if I have a positive lead coefficient, well, actually, no matter what my lead coefficient is, it tells me the end behavior on the right. So if I have positive lead coefficient, then whether I have odd degree or even degree, on the right, I'm going up like positive. Then if I'm even degree, I know I must be the same, so it's up, up. And if I'm odd degree, it must be opposite, so down, up. The same thing is true when we look at a negative lead coefficient. For a negative lead coefficient, again, that's going to tell us the behavior on the right. On the right here with negative lead coefficient and even degree, I have down. Even is the same, so E, down, down. And negative lead coefficient with odd, again, it points down on the right. and opposite of that would be up. So positive and negative lead coefficient, just think about, okay, that tells me what's going on the right. If it's even, the left will be exactly the same. If it's odd, the left will be opposite. All right, guys, that does it for this quick intro on polynomial graphing end behavior. We'll catch you in the next video.